Alright, let's see how this works out. So, I am... Oh, that's not quite what I expected him to do. So his pugilist buffs are going to be a higher priority for him. But that did get him in place for that, well. So, could be worse. Ooh. He really gets out front, though. And they're all in range, so... You know, would have hoped I would have my tank out front, but... Well, you know, he's doing okay. Let's see if we can do damage back. Yes, we can. But she's a spirit tank. It's really about how we hit the other Prince Mont. That was pretty good. And I think he can hit all of them now. Might see the LB or Hell's Gate. Yeah, we saw the LB. Okay. Alright, Mont, what you gonna do? Oh, you going for your older self. They all are. He completely drug the hate. That's really interesting. So now this Mont is potentially going to draw it back there. So there are two options. They have to get through two tanks to get to Sephiroth now. But it's kind of irrelevant because we won that one. Okay, very cool. Go ahead and take that Mont to 140, by the way. Unless you're really out of resources. I know you may have gotten your stars, but unless you're going to reincarnate him a couple more times. I said before, as a unit with so much powerful tech on his limit break, it is... I'm just really curious how differently he performs in round 2. Now, this opening is going just as well as it did previously. Ooh, okay. King Mont did not go for the extra. We went for the shield and restore, which is good. So, one thing that I can do to improve this is probably to turn off that defense and HP up buff. It certainly seemed to be helpful, but I think giving him the power to destroy anything in his way is a much more Sephiroth way of dealing with offense-defense problems. And these tanks are holding out really well. Like, people are attacking. Cloud is just completely ignoring him. Cloud, he was even in the way of what Cloud was going for. Okay. Well, they were a lot lower leveled, so let me make some AI changes and we'll get back to testing them. Okay, here we are. I am using him as a pugilist. I really like flurry counter on him because he can take a number of hits. Let's look at some of these resistances and kind of see why. Generally good resistances, but good grief. Just elemental resistances all across the board. I'm not saying he's an elemental tank or anything, but he can get pretty tanky. Yeah, I'm not really... Divine Proclamation doesn't feel great. This is just here for lore reasons, which is cool, but it does kind of put him down a sub-job. So, breathing technique, because it's a set percentage, isn't bad on a physical unit. I think it's Iron Body Stance it's screaming at here. That might be good in other formats, maybe not in dual. So, alright, so that's the build that I'm using right now. Okay, so remember, I only changed that one move, and that's just to move kind of his shield and AP restore up in his priority. Yep, there it is. So I could probably turn his buff that gives him an extra counter back on. I think that's the next thing I'm going to try. But, you know, given how some of these variables, especially carefully chosen ones, can really alter the outcome of the opening placements and how much that can change the map. Again, like chess, this can be a lot about how your opening works out. I think I'm most afraid of the evasion, potential for this team, not necessarily in the Earth units, but Sorrow specifically. We may have one shot at that with the LB, and then the Courage might, well, we can hit him with a rock. So, hopefully, yep, that did not, no. So now we're going to have to chip him down with rocks, I think. And he is going for that Mont. Oh, and he went for my Sephiroth too. Okay. Does other Mont have enough hate? He does. But we're probably going to have to take out Sorrow, or we're goners, or we'll have to move a lot. I don't think that was enough. Mont can come in here and distract. Yes. Okay, so can we hit him? Doesn't look like Mont can, so he's going for the buff. Ooh, doesn't look like Sephiroth can, and the AI did not think to turn around. So, bodied in the first round right there. His counter could help with that. We will see. Okay, so what we did was we turned on Masamune in waiting, which should give him a buddy buff. So he should stop next to Mont this time. Okay, reaction block rate. I'm not sure how much that's going to help. The elemental resistance isn't really going to do much either. I'm hoping that the counter, or maybe giving him that extra buff turn, getting him a little further back, maybe helps one or the other. Really, we need to get some more... Ooh. That's a little unfortunate. Okay, so with buddy buffs like that too. Ooh, oh god. This is tragic. With buddy buffs like that, if you don't have them positioned like I ultimately get Prince Mont positioned, again, why I think Prince Mont is, you know, he's in the right spot. King Mont's doing what he needs to do. But if he can only hit one of them, then he might try to get the other one, and then he's not going to get his shield up, which is important for being able to tank through that. But also, he's not going to get the AP to LB these guys. So, if nothing else, this was a very tragic lesson about how much wronger things could possibly go if you get even one character's buffs wrong. So, you know, this is kind of the importance of doing this tuning. And, you know, you're going to have to take advantage of every advantage you can possibly get to really be able to win without a well-built elemental team, which is currently the meta. Okay, thinking it over, I am definitely turning Masamune and waiting off, but I was using this TMR with the buff turned off. However, it does not have the same drawback, while I don't generally like it as much. It does not have the same drawback, as it is only one use, so he's going to get into position, and then, I don't know, but him getting into position like that might throw the other okay, well, we will find out. I still need to turn off this. And again, I'm doing this in advanced settings, so it doesn't screw with a lot of other stuff. So far, Class Match has been really hard on this account. Mainly because the guild is so lowly ranked, and in addition to that, you know, they're basically punching up at all times. So, you know, all throughout this, we've been facing off against opponents relatively well that were much stronger, which has been very difficult for. Okay, cool. So we got Sephiroth buffs, right? But since we have a no-win proposition against the other team, since we just can't hit Sorrow enough, at least without proper gear. Like, I'm not saying that Sephiroth just can't beat Sorrow. I'm saying that his LB is not enough. You need proper equipment to do that. Maybe like an Alexandrite ring. There's probably a couple of things that you could do here. But his LB also works. The thing is, once again, that has that one cast, and that is a pretty big issue for it. Unfortunately, he does not have as much light resistance as other things, and without that that other buff that we saw that I'm having to turn off to make his AI work right, he doesn't really have a good way to get it. So Prince Mont also being really weak to magic did not help me here. However, I am fighting the guild leader, so any sort of a victory here is a pretty big morale victory, given that the leader was playing when I started. Alright, Mont. This is... oh, jeez. You're getting chained on bad. Alright, you survived. Claws the young king, please. You can get the Marial, and maybe... Oh, I think you're dead. We got a star. That's a lot closer to how more of our matches have been going throughout class match so far. But this team is definitely a lot more powerful, so let me show you against some teams that are a little bit more evenly matched with me. Okay, one issue that I seem to be having with this configuration is that with Mont getting all ahead, he is now having the problem that Sephiroth had. This has 3 casts, so he... Let's see if we can find something with 1. I mean, if we turn all of his buffs off, he's going to use bells. Probably. Maybe Mercy's Grace. Do I have that turned off, though? Yeah, that can be really problematic. But that only has 2... I mean, I should try it, because he might be able to hit both of them with that. If he can, then he won't double cast it. So that could work for us. This may also free up a turn for him to eventually use bells and then come in as a brawler a lot earlier, because he's being held back by this. I do have Shikuchi, so he does have decent movement, but let's go back to the battle. Okay, let's see if we fixed Mont's AI here. Okay, he is charging it. Oh, but Sephiroth is not going to be in range for that. Okay, well, let's see how this works out. It may be a little bit different. Ooh, except my Mont's getting pulled by their tank, it seems. And, oh, okay. Interesting. I think this actually is kind of an offset, so I'm going to have to play again to really see how this goes, because I think initial hate is screwing with me. And this is one of the reasons why initial hate can, like, really mess a team up. But also, all elemental resist up on Sephiroth, now that I think about it, is just a bamf way to go. Like... because he's got 25 already for most things. I think, like, if I'll check this, Editor Jackie will put it in, but, like, if his, I'm sorry, if Mercy's Grace gives 25%, that's 50%. So, like, everything but light. Okay, if this works out like last time, I think we have a strong candidate for best buff order. Alright. Mont's got them DPS'd up. Ooh, Mont didn't do anything there. That's interesting. Well, actually, the mod that would have been in range for it has already had it applied, so that makes sense. And he's probably not going to apply the buff now. I was thinking if he uses it twice in the first match, then he'll only have 1 for the second, so that kind of just works. Nice. I've been hoping that I could get Mont to use that. I really hope he'll use bells too, but... good lord. Okay, well, with that win under our belt, which I think was quite good, you know, they could have had a stronger win unit. They might have been able to deal with our tank a little bit better, but wow. That looked good. Let's see how this fares into Fight 2. So, let's see. Sephiroth is going to do different things this time because he only has 1 cast of his buff. what I'm hoping to demonstrate here, if this is just clearly a better buff order for this team, then this fight that was difficult before should become a lot easier now. Also, this move Sephiroth... Oh my god, big brain Sephiroth. Okay, this is actually even better in round 2. Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good match. Oh, I'm excited. Oh my god, I cracked the code. Good lord. If anybody watches Some Ordinary Gamers, I feel like I'm channeling Mudahar in my excited state. God bless you all, get that reference. Oh, well, you know, he's out in front. He doesn't have hate. That's interesting. Although I think Lastwell will have no chance really but to target him unless one of these Monts gets out front, which is entirely possible. Nope, he decided not to move. They just chained, so... Big damage AoE? Oh, yes it is. Although, he turned his back to their damage dealer. It hasn't gotten a turn in a while, so this could be really bad. But he also potentially has a lot of ice resistance. I would have thought that Lastwell would have gone for the move that would reduce his ice resistance. I don't think that was it. Could be wrong. But... that would be the way that he gets through Sephiroth at this point. Now, he can hit all 3 of them. Ooh, that hit Mont pretty hard. He has good defense penetration. So, really, while Lastwell is difficult for tanks with a bunch of defense, if you get that elemental resistance stacked like that, holy crap! God dang, y'all! Big brain Sephiroth in round 2. Alright, so we're going to try taking on the guild leader with our improved buff order. And while I'm not sure that it's really good, necessarily, his Lucio does some weird stuff getting up the side that's actually kind of problematic for my team. Because his other 2 units are going to group up, which is great for Sephiroth and how he usually deals with things if you've seen other videos of him playing. But... Lucio's going to be well out of range for that. Because he... oh, okay. Maybe not. Not in this fight. Probably because my other Mont got different positioning. I have a bunch of units pulling hate. Now, if the Monts can get away from Sephiroth, that would be great, but he is taking damage well. It is also possible, but not likely, that I get a Mercy's Grace in, but no. Okay, didn't think so. Alright, good place for Sephiroth's LB to kind of wipe the team a bit. I'm not sure how much it's going to do. Yeah. Lucio dealt with that pretty well. But, we have a good tempo advantage at this point, and they aren't doing a lot of damage, so wow. I might have to add this to my video because, like, this guy seemed unbeatable minutes ago. And then I come back with the buff order that I made in that video, and here we are. We've at least got 2 stars. Like, I'm not sure we're gonna... ooh, that was a pretty good... wow. Oh. Ooh. Well, he got his agility up, but he's still get weird. Ooh. I mean, we still get one more turn. Like, we can get him, but he really hung in there. We didn't lose a unit, though. Wow. Wow. I think that ends the video. I'll see you in the next one.